Welcome back. This is episode 43 of the We Are Everywhere podcast. And in true fashion of this podcast, I love episodes like this. I say this every time. I love every episode, I love every guest. But having guests on that I literally do not know from Adam. Never met this guy. Don't even know where he's from. We're all going to find out together. Last week, I put out a bat signal on Instagram saying, "Hey, I'm recording some slots. Who wants a slot?" And Ryan Divito raised his hand and said, "I want a slot." So you were the first person to get a slot scheduled. So without further ado, episode 43, Ryan Divito. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. I believe I said long time watcher, first time caller.
Oh, okay,
Goes way
that one
back
was
to
you.
like the Q101 days here in Chicago, So,
Oh, dude, you're in
yes,
Chicago.
yes,
That was
yes,
going to be
yes.
my next question. Where are you from? Okay, Chi-Town. Are you like originally from there, or did you like move there later in your life, or what?
So originally from Chicago, born and raised through high
No
school.
shit.
So seen a lot of great music over the years here. Um, lived, went to high school, I actually ended up playing hockey down in Texas, of all places, Texarkana, Texas, for two
Wow.
years. And then went to school in St. Louis and then came back to Chicago for my first like real job, but spent like 10 years in the restaurant industry. So yeah, full
Nice.
circle, Chicago, Texas to play hockey. Who would have thought? Middle of nowhere. We played in a rodeo barn, moved
No
up to
shit.
St. Louis for school, and back here in Chicago since 2012.
Since 2012. Dude, so I'm not far from you at all. I'm like 2.5 hours. So I'm in Michigan, just west of Grand Rapids. So it's literally like a 2.5 hour drive there.
Oh, nice, nice. My
Yeah.
girlfriend went to Western, so not too
Oh, no
far from
shit.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like right. Yeah, right in this area. Very cool. Okay, Midwestern. I like it.
Yes.
Okay. So first question before we get into anything is, I've obviously, are you doing the Chicago shows?
Yes, all three. Even though I live in
Dope.
Chicago, I rented an Airbnb for like 10 people, like right down the street from the United Center, like a home away from home situation.
Okay.
Um, I'll pay the cleaning fee after you have like 10 plus their, plus one that I usually end up sleeping on the floor or couch. You know how it goes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some of the people in the scene. Can I borrow your couch? You can borrow my Airbnb's couch anytime.
Wow. Okay, that's wild, dude. Getting an Airbnb at the hometown show. Dude, so for right now, it's just out of my crew, it's just me and one other guy that are rocking it. So I'll be there. So we'll be able to meet in person in like a month.
Yeah, let's do that.
Close to a month, yeah.
It's right around the corner. It's sneaking up on me very, very quickly. So
I
we have
know.
Austin in front of us, and then the UC is going to be here before you know it. And
You're doing
did you
Austin?
check out the shows last time they came to the UC a couple years ago?
What year was that?
2023, October, fall of 2023.
So short answer, yes, because every time they play, like I'm just like any other fan, like I'm,
Yep.
peeping set list, being like, okay, what do I want to check out? Skimming, like, oh, okay, whatever. So short answer, yes, but do I remember it off the top of my head? No. Was there anything noteworthy from that I'm blanking on?
The music was awesome. A lot of bust out covers, like Albuquerque. They played for like the first time in forever, which was
I do remember
awesome.
that now.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
the Albuquerque. Yep.
But before that, it was since like 2018 or 19 since the last time they played in Chicago. Everything had been Alpine or Deer Creek was the next closest show. They played
Hmm.
at Northerly Island for a few runs and back and forth, and Rosemont before that. So it was like almost like 7 or 8 years that they didn't actually play in the city of Chicago, which is mind blowing. It's like the third largest city in the country, and
Right.
is like to have it without Phish for that many years. When they came out for that first song at the UC, it was like we're back here in the hometown, the house that MJ built. It was epic, and it was like a MSG but bigger.
Mm.
MSG is like 18, 19,000,
I was looking at
23.
this. It's like 23, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it had that kind of same feel. Not as good acoustically. I gotta tip my hat to MSG,
Okay.
best place you can ever see a show. I don't know if
I've never
indoors
been.
wise.
Yeah, I've never been there. I need to get there. It feels
Yes.
crazy saying that I haven't been there, given how many times Phish has played. I just haven't pulled the trigger. What is the so acoustics in this? They're not good.
Their Fish sounds good anywhere to me,
Yeah.
at least. But it's a little big. There's some echoes. It's a
Okay.
basketball hockey stadium first. MSG has different acoustics. It's a little smaller,
Uh
and
huh.
Trey is, he can play one note like from any time he's played there and be like, that was this year. Like there's just a different sound there.
God.
The UC is just so large and cavernous that
Mm-hmm.
you lose some of that oomph that like, if you're not in like the floor, like the 100 level, like
Uh
is
huh.
I spent one night in the 200, one night front row 300. It wasn't as crisp as loud as
Oh.
or is great sounding. It wasn't bad sounding. It wasn't as good as
Okay.
MSG, I would say.
It's funny that we're talking about this right now because I was just texting my buddy that I was going with, and I was like, "Hey, I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger on some shitty seats, so we can like get in the door." And he's like, "Well, wait, like let's do this." He's like, "I found some in the 200s." He's like, "But I also found some like in the like floor, like on cash or trade." He's like talking about which we want to do. I'm like, "Hey, I just want to get in the door," but now you're like telling me about the sound, so I'm feeling like I want to invest. I usually see where I go with my money whenever I'm going to see Phish. Like most of the money goes to lodging, whether that's a B&B or hotel, wherever. Because I want to be close. I want to have I want to
Hmm.
be comfortable. I want to have that shit set up. And then like as far as the show goes, like put me in the fucking rafters, like for all I care. I just want to like be in there and like witness it.
Well, Clay, you're talking to a guy that is renting an Airbnb and lives in Chicago. So preaching to the choir there, my man.
Right,
Come on.
right, right.
Like, yeah, I get the point. Be close, be local, be able to see the scene, feel
Yeah.
the crowd, see the crowd, smell the crowd. Depending what day of the run you're talking about here.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Either way, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see you there. We'll have to talk logistics after this
Yep.
to figure out a meetup spot. Um, but the whole point of the show is to learn and meet you and hear about how you got into this crazy scene and this crazy band. So, well, first off, I feel like we're about the same age. What? How old are you?
37.
Okay, yeah, so we're close.
Yes.
I'm 30. Holy shit, dude. I'm I was born in 1990, so I'm 35 4. I'm 34.
Yes. Yes.
Dude,
So
that's legit the first time that's happened to me. I've
were
always
you
been
hitting your
made
mid
fun of people
30s?
who forget. Whoa,
Now,
bro.
now you're doing it live.
Yeah, doing it
Yeah.
live. Yeah, 34. Holy shit. Okay, so we're close. We're close either way. Okay,
Once you
so
hit 33, after 33, like from here till 40, it's like okay, yes, 30 something.
toast.
I'm 30 something. Forget it doesn't matter.
Cooked.
We're 30
I'm in the
something
we're
years
in the
old.
30s, mid 30s.
Yeah, there
Okay,
you go.
so we're roughly the same age. So, how did you first discover Fish? How'd you get into them? What would that look like?
So, first interaction, first memory of Fish. It was June 2000. Farmhouse had just dropped, and I had no idea any of this.
Okay.
So this is like 10 years before like maybe 14 years before my real awakening. So this camp counselor up in Guelph, Ontario, and for those that don't know, Guelph, Ontario is it's like the most hippie little town in Ontario. It's about an hour west of Toronto, and one of my camp counselors, Josh H, he always had a fish shirt on, but fish was spelt wrong. I'm like, what is that? Like, spelt wrong, and he had like the hemp necklace with like the different like things hanging off of it.
Yeah.
Sick at hockey, great hands, like awesome, but perma-stoned. Like, hey guys, like what's up? Time to get on the ice, and like I didn't like
Stereotypical.
really know what was, like I was seventh grade, so like I was like, all right, cool. So he went to downtown Toronto, right across the street there, from the Hockey Hall of Fame. There's a mall, and he bought like the release of Farmhouse, and he gave it a listen, and then he was like, "Here, kids, check it out." And he gave us a bowl. He gave us some weed. and he gave us his CD of Phish. We popped it in, threw it in, and it was like I was really stoned because I was like seventh, eighth grade.
I was about to say,
Started
so you
going
were probably like what, 14, 15?
12, 13. I was 13 probably at this time. So it was a
Gotcha. Okay.
little young for, but I could handle it.
Sure.
Listened to the whole album through one to the next. Had a great time, almost a little too much. And then we were like on a campus, Guelph University, and was really nervous that we were gonna get caught. So like the first album, part of the album was great. The last half was like we were just like we're gonna get busted. Like just
Scared.
all that stuff started flowing in. Really nervous. Like we're gonna get deported back to the United States. It was
Oh yeah,
amazing.
because you're in Canada.
Yeah, we're in Canada, doing illegal things. They're gonna kick my ass back to the states. I'm gonna end up in, that's what started going through my mind. So very paranoid, real quick. But the
Sure.
first half of the album, side A, I guess you would call it, was an amazing time. Then I forgot about it. Like they kind of like pushed that out of my mind. But that was my first go with Phish, and it was great and scary. So much like any good show that you're part of, there's those scary moments and those happy, blissful moments.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering, because I don't remember what tracks, so I'm literally looking up what tracks are on the Farmhouse album, so I can kind of get a sense of like where you at, what you were hearing.
It's like
Farmhouse album
Bug,
track
Hyper.
list.
I'm try I want to remember the first song. Oh man, this is embarrassing. I should know it.
The first song is Farmhouse.
Farmhouse. Oh wow, album number. There you
Far,
go. Yeah, that's
s-
a real easy one to get into. You're like you're a little feeling it. Farmhouse. Great. That's awesome.
okay, so we got Farmhouse, Twist, Bug, Back on the Train, Heavy Things, Got a Jaboo, Dirt, Piper, Sleep, In Law Josie Wells, Sand, First Tube. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, right around probably Dirt is where things probably started turning for you.
Heavy things.
Heavy
That
Things?
that like that first note that like beep beep beep
Yeah,
like that
the little
Trey does and
beeper.
you know it right. Oh, it's heavy things. That
Yeah,
little thing, like I can kind of remember to this day being
the
like it
alarm.
just kind of put me in a weird direction. Doesn't do it
Okay,
anymore. Now I'm like, oh, it's heavy things. But back
Heavy
then I
Things.
was like, the cops are coming. I'm
We're three tracks into the album and we're freaking out. That's funny. Okay, so not a bad introduction. So okay, painting the picture. And this is hockey camp that you're at?
hockey camp. Yes, I
Okay,
used to
hockey
go
camp.
every summer. Three
Hockey camp in
weeks.
Canada.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Okay.
awesome. It was a great time. A lot of like the same people go year after year. Went
Sure.
from like 10 years old until like junior in high school. But this was like right in the middle of it. And Josh, shout out Josh. Maybe you'll remember me, Ryan Divito from number 17 from Chicago, Illinois. But yeah, opened my life up to Phish for the first time, and then it'd be like 12 years later till I got really back into them.
Wow. Okay. So maybe Josh is listening and we can find Josh and hear his perspective on it. That's cool though. Okay, so discovered Fish early teens, maybe preteens around that time. So getting into it are like on that first listen, other than like being paranoid. I know you said the reintroduction came about like 14 years later. What are you doing in like the meantime? Are you like nerding out on that album? Is it just like an afterthought of like, oh, it was cool, we got stoned and like we were at
Yeah,
hockey
it
camp and
was it
forget
was
about
more
it?
that. It was
Okay.
more it was cool. We got stoned, like whatever, and then kind of just forgot about it. Not intentionally, not like block out bad
Yeah,
like
it was just
past
a thing.
trauma. It was
Yeah.
just like, oh, that was part of it.
Yeah.
And I was at that point. I think like a lot of like seventh, eighth graders at that time. I didn't have to bleach my hair blonde, but it was like Eminem, right? You're
Yeah,
you're from
dude.
Michigan.
Yeah. Well, no,
Eminem,
I'm not from
you're
Michigan, but
not from
I get
Michigan.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a nationwide thing. Like
Yep.
I'm originally from Oklahoma and like we were all doing that shit too. Like that was everywhere.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was in, a little rap game, and then in high school, the Doors. You know, I used to have a Jim Morrison poster where he's
Oh,
like
nice.
sitting there with like his long hair and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
me and my buddies would just like party in my basement, get stoned, and be like, I want to be Jim Morrison someday. Just total like we missed, you know, the couple decades before then, like when we
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
like been a part of.
I get it.
Then that led to like Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead
There
through
you
high
go.
school, loved it. Grateful Dead, you know, saw like some of the aftermaths, the Dead, and some of those like small offshoots with like Bob Weir and whatnot,
Hmm.
and got into a lot of like, you know, this is Phish goes on their hiatus at like when I'm graduating high school, right? Their second
Right.
one, so they weren't really around. So it was a little EDM and a lot of like String Cheese, STS9, and you know, in that kind
Okay.
of scene. So
That world,
yeah,
which is
jam band, adjacent.
adjacent.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I know a lot of people that are like into that like heavy, and I understand it.
Hmm.
I just can't do it, if that makes sense. Like I get it. Like if it's on, like if I were to like pull up Nugs and STS9 was playing or whatever, I would like put it on and I'd be like, okay, like cool, like I get it, right? But as far as like committing and being like, yeah, I'm gonna drive, like if they were playing like in my like town, like I'd be like, yeah, let's go check it out. But like, dude, if I gotta travel, like I'm not to the point where I could like travel to go do like that type of scene. It's just it's like exhausting. Like you gotta have a pacifier and like all type of shit. No, I'm teasing, but no, I get it. Okay, so we started getting into the EDM like string cheese, and not to derail this too much, but like how about string cheese being like such a wild blend of like bluegrass, EDM, rock and roll, jam, like that's still that band still like befuddles me. Like it's so
They're all over
wild,
the place.
all over the place.
No hate. You know, they have a different sound, a little more of that EDM-y.
Yeah.
You know, my girlfriend who I met actually in Fish, Mexico a few years back.
Oh,
Um,
really?
she can't get into it at all. Like they played in Chicago recently, and we didn't go, and like I didn't feel like I missed anything. Like that's kind of how you are. I was like, oh, if you're in town, I'll go check them out, but I will go. But funny story is 2013. Me and my three closest friends, we drove down to Wakarusa, which is in Arkansas,
Dude,
and
I've been there. I've
yes,
been to Wakarusa. Cause
yes.
like I said, I'm originally from Oklahoma, and that's just a little hop over there. What year was it?
Mulberry Mountain was the location. So,
No, 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 no. I said what year was it?
oh, what year was it? This was 2013.
2013. I think I went in like 2011, 2010, something like that.
Yeah, it was I think it lasted like 4 or 5 years and it changed like I'm sure they had noise complaints and like people complaints for like the one area. Then they moved it to Mulberry Mountain. And you know, I'm afraid to say this, but Bass Nectar, String Cheese, and STS9 were like the three headliners.
Oh wow.
And you want to talk about juxtaposition? Bass Nectar crowd and String Cheese crowd, and they were like on back to back. It was the craziest like bass head
Dude.
to like whooped out like southern states wooks.
Yeah.
It was insane, dude. Like it was like oil and water, but like they mixed together for a little bit and then they went their separate ways and it was awesome to fire twirlers and all that. So I was like, this is awesome. And seeing a lot of string cheese and stuff at the time, it's kind of turned off to Fish. Like they're on the hiatus, they came back. Who cares? Like
Oh,
it
okay.
is what it is. So it's a little. I'm not saying I was jaded, but
You were
there
making
was
the
no
best with what
push.
you had at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and there was no
I
push to
got
go
you.
see Fish after they got back together in 2009. I was just like, all right, this is what it is. But then after Wakarusa, my two best friends went to the Chicago show at Northerly Island that where it rained out for that like
Yeah, I was there. I was
yes,
there.
and then they started up where they and they're like, dude, they weren't there during the rain out. They were there during the next show where they started off where they left off the night before and they played three sets. It was awesome. We're going next year. And I was like, cool. I'll see you there. I had to work at the restaurant, and that actually pushed me. I was supposed to go. I had to work the restaurant. Couldn't find someone to cover, so I was like, I'm gonna get a non-restaurant job, and I'm gonna be able to go to Phish next year in Chicago.
And that was the first show?
That was my first show. Yes,
And that was 2014?
2014. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Fuego just came out, which really liked a lot of the tracks on Fuego. Still, Fuego bangs, goes deep every time. But 555 was the first song, and it was kind of fresh because it was on the album. I was like, oh, I know this one. And then there were several others played. Um, but night one, very like nervous. It's intimidating. A lot
You were
of
nervous?
I was nervous. Like what do I do? Like what's lot shakedown? Like
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
and like
Yeah.
what show? Like how many shows you been to? I'm like, it's my first one, and then everyone was like, "This is his first show. It's gonna be great. Like, welcome to the family." I was like, "What family?" 100 and plus shows later, yeah, family for sure.
Right. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's you once you like get it, like you get it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to back up a little bit. So you found your way into the jam scene, like
Hmm.
Dead, Cheese, little EDM mixed in there as well. So you're familiar with like the style. So like as you're like dabbling in these years before Fish gets back together, and then even after Fish gets back together, before the first show, do you ever like dabble in any of the live music or any do you dabble in Fish at all, or was it really just like whenever your homies went and were like, hey, yeah, like come with us, and you were like, oh, I got the FOMO, like I gotta go?
I and this is for all music. I want to go in like with more of a blank slate
That's smart.
than like and Fish would be the worst band to try to do this with because they'll play every different song and there's no repeat. So if like you listen to something, like if you listen to 30 songs and you're like, oh, I really like this one, I really like this one, your chances to see any of the songs you really like will just leave you up like disappointed and like feeling empty. Like, oh, I didn't get to see Jabu or one of the songs I wanted to see. So I went in there blank slate, absolute blank
Cool.
slate for my like first show, minus that like farmhouse thing, and that kind of all came back to me like in line, like
You're like, oh, this was that band.
yeah, exactly, like aha, ding ding, light bulb went on, full circle, 12, 14 years
Gotcha.
later.
Okay, dope, dude. So you were just like going as like hey, like this is gonna be a good time, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, like I remember this now from like my camp counselor. What was
Yeah,
Jake? You said,
Josh,
yeah,
Josh
oh
H. There's
Josh,
two
Josh,
Joshes. I don't know his last name. It's just Josh H.
Josh H. If you're out there, man, hit us up. Hit us up. Let's hear your side of this story. But yeah, dude, that's cool. So you're just like going in thinking like you're going to a concert. Then it all kind of clicks, and then in the actual show, or was it even in the actual show? When did you like have that moment to where you were like, boom, like all of my extra money is going to these four old dudes from Vermont?
I got goosebumps right now because I know the exact moment. It
Okay, tell
was
me.
second night. It was Saturday. Susie Greenberg started coming on, and
Okay.
I'm such a nude. I'm thinking they're saying Susie Reaper, but I
Susie Reaper?
Susie Reaper.
Okay.
We were like front row of like the lawn area at Northerly, like right under that like big screen they put out there.
Yeah.
Not like in the actual concrete pit, but the GA lawn noob stuff, right?
No, dude,
Um, or
that's where I
people that
fucking
just like the
live.
vibe. Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
I
So
live, dude. Like right by that barricade, dude. We might have been standing right next to each
we
other.
actually probably could. So I took a good cocktail, a heavy drop, and I'm feeling it. Took a what we
Okay.
called a second set sizzler, re-upped, and Susie Greenberg started playing
Second set Sizzler killed me.
his second set sizzler, and so Susie Greenberg's playing, which I think is Susie Reaper, whatever. It sounded amazing to me.
Uh-huh.
But when Fishman does it, like and he does that like weird voice behind
Oh yeah,
the
the wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff. Well, that separated like my mind from my body, and I was watching myself dance and jump up and down and have the sick it. I was, dude, I could have gone like Dancing with the Stars times 10, like I was crushing it out there. At least I thought
Yeah.
so, anyways. And then I came back down, like I think that was the set closer actually, or the second set closer, and I came back down, and I was just like, I looked at my buddy Chris, and I looked at my buddy Mike, and I'm like, dude, I can't wait for tomorrow night. And that was it. We were that was
Off
it
to
for
the
me. I went
races.
to fan art the next day. I got a little Susie Greenberg. Like I went to every person. I was like, "Do you have a Susie Greenberg pin?" Like, why does this came out Susie Greenberg? I'm like Susie Greenberg. Let me get a
You're
Susie
like,
Greenberg.
that's my moment.
And then like the pins in 2014, that market was crazy. So I got this
Dude.
little the object piece that was like they're all like little circles that had like Susie Greenberg had the paintbrush and had like an artist she may be but a genius she is not.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so it was like written on it, and then they had like the hammer and the nail for the bittersweet. Like they had a whole collection of them, but I got that one. I still have it on a hat at home somewhere, um, and I'm just like, this is it. And we went back the next night, and they played that epic wedge, and it was just
Dude.
glorious. And then I found out people were going to the next town on the next show. I'm like, wait, there's more? There's
Yeah.
more of like you keep going. I haven't missed a show since 2009. I'm like,
You're like, what the fuck?
no, I don't miss a show, so here I am.
Yeah, dude. Every time I meet those people, I'm like, what do you do for work? I'm like, how do you do it? Like, you guys hiring? Like, what do you
Yeah.
do? And it's like, oh, you got to work from home. Like, you got to work in sales. Like, got it. Like, I'm going to do that.
Yep. Yes. Here I am. Here you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. So cool, dude. Okay. So got a late start, 2014, but you said you're over 100 shows, right?
Yeah, yeah, actually, I not a huge show counter, but my buddy Chris, um, call him Pern. He is an
Pern or
accountant.
perm?
Pern. He was giving
Pern.
my dad smart ass answers one time when we were growing up, and my dad was like, "All right, Copernicus, whatever you gotta say." So it went from
Oh,
Copernicus to Pern, and this is like 2004 until now. He's Pern by everybody in our group.
oh, Pern.
So
I
Pern,
like that.
old Pern. Old Pern is an accountant, and so he has my log, not my login, but he has like my fish stats like on fish.net. And he's like, dude, you
Uh-huh.
forgot to add these shows, add this show. So last year, 12/30 was my 100th show.
No
With
shit.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool, and we got front row, center ice, in MSG on the red line, front row, like just two box seats. The people that were going there didn't show up, so I walked down, and they actually kicked my girlfriend out of the seat. I came back down. I handed the guy working there $100 bill. They ran up, chased, grabbed my girlfriend. They're like, "Those were your seats. We're sorry." So we actually sat front row, red line, MSG, two seats like on a metal platform, not like the cement ground, and it's all hard. Like we were bouncing on this thing like on a stage, like stuck out in the middle of MSG. Best seats I've ever had in my life to anything ever, and it
Whoa.
was
So hold
for a
on. You're gonna
hundred.
have to like. So I was thinking when you were telling me about that, I was thinking like you were like on the rail, like front row, but it sounds like you were like were you like
So
off
like
to the
where like in hockey like the two glasses meet like between the players benches. Well,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that glass is down, so this is like half court
Oh,
center ice right there, right in
bet.
the
Okay,
middle,
got it.
and
Got it.
everything's kind of turned like to face the middle, so we're one to like the back of the crowd. So it was just like we were kind of just turned like on a perfect like 30-degree angle facing it, and we had like three stairs, a platform, our seats, and then in front of it, like it was all ours. It was like a 8x8 platform and very
Dang.
bouncy. So like it felt like my dance moves were on 10 that night. It was
Dude,
amazing, dude. And
you sound like me. Like you keep referencing like your dance moves. Do you watch It's Always Sunny, or have you watched It's Always Sunny?
yes, I have, and that
Like the
is
episode, like where they're like back at prom and they think they're killing it, and they're just like, that's
yeah,
how I probably look every show, dude. But I'm like, dude,
yes.
I'm sore. I was
100%.
killing it
That's
out
me.
there.
Yeah, I was
Me too.
killing it out there. But no, this I'm telling you, this like metal platform, it was life changing. Now I was like, that will never happen again because those seats are crazy expensive, and you have to have the right person, the right time, someone that will take the bribe, and it worked
Dude,
out. So that was show 100. It was just meant to be.
that's dope, especially because it was like that milestone.
Yeah.
But dude, you find the right people. Some of these people that work at these venues don't care, man. And if you show up and hand them $100 bill, they'll take you just about anywhere you want. Like you just got to find the right one, man. Find the one that looks like they're
Yes.
ready to go home and
Yep.
make their day, and then they'll make your day.
Cash talks.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
cash money, dude. Very cool. Okay. So now fast forwarding, we're 100 shows deep. Um, you've had plenty of time to listen and re-listen and see shows. What is your favorite jam of all time? The impossible question. I'm talking, you are going out on a desert island and you get to take one jam and that's the only Fish that you can listen to for the rest of your life. What jam are you picking?
Easy for
Oh,
me. Yeah,
easy for you.
easy.
Susie Greenberg from Northerly Island.
No, you know what? That wasn't really a jam. That was like a 7 minute, just straightforward
Yeah.
approach to it. But 7-14-19,
7, 14, 19. What do you
Ruby
got?
Waves, Alpine.
Waves?
Yeah,
Alpine.
yeah. That had
Ruby.
everything in it. Multiple peaks. It goes to like outer space, a little like blink, 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 blink
Oh
section.
yeah.
I love the lyrics that like the lyrics hit home. I just liked hearing it for like the second or third time like they've ever played it. And then they went on that epic like almost 40-minute journey. 40 plus, I forget. It's just
Yeah, I think it was like 46 total.
yeah,
Now I gotta
43, 43
I'm
or
I'm gonna start
38. I don't know. They've
fact
done a
checking
couple
myself
big
on
ones
here.
since then, but it was blissful, magical, scary.
38. God damn
But
it.
38,
38. Yeah.
38, 38
That's what
is the
it's
waves.
clocking on the Fish YouTube channel at least.
Yes. So
We were close. But still, monster jam.
in an epic show. That show from start to finish with Landlady opener all the way through Iculus, like my first Iculus, like that was like one of those ones where you're just like, I'm a huge hockey, huge sport guy. That was like the the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the White Sox, like all winning their sports championship at the same time in my face. Like that was an epic show. I think it's anyone that was there like that's like a top five, top one, top. That's my top show and top jam of all time, 100%.
Dope. And I find I can't find any fault with that. I hear some people, not necessarily on this podcast, but like you talk Fish like in just like the real world with people, and like you hear about like people's like favorite jams or things like that, and you like walk away thinking like, really, like that was your favorite? I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Music's subjective, right? Nobody's
Objective.
wrong,
Oh yes.
nobody's right. But like you hear things and you're like, what? But dude, yeah, with that, there's no. I mean, it is a monster. I need to re-listen to that because I remember like when it happened, I was like, holy fucking shit, just like everybody. But I haven't really re-listened to that a lot. I just remember
Give it
that
a
it's
spin.
yeah. I'll do
It's
that after this.
so many different places it goes to, like the multiple peaks throughout it. But once again, like my first experience, blissful and excited, and this is cool. Then like I'm getting deported. Like kind of comes back multiple times in that song, so it hits on all cylinders. So yeah, it was yeah. I'm gonna listen to that too when I get off here, actually.
Dude, that's what I always do. Like, because I ask that question to everyone on that comes on the show, and then while I'm like getting everything uploaded, like I'll typically like turn it on because I just like I'm sure like everybody does. I get caught in like these ruts to where I'm like, okay, like I'll just like just out of habit. It's like okay, I'm listening to the Denver Ghost again. Okay, like I'm listening to this again. Like okay, I'm listening to this again. It's like I've been listening to
Oh,
like the same 7 jams for the past 6 months. So whenever I hear someone else's like favorite jam, I'm like, okay, let me throw this on and like let me like listen to this while I'm editing and posting their episode, kind of like
yep.
a homage. But yeah, dude, that's a good one. I do need to throw that on. Okay, Ruby Waves, favorite jam of all time. No question about that one. So usually people, I think you're the first person that's been like, hands down, know what it is, 100%. Everybody's like, No, like I want to pick like five. Like, dude, you were like dialed
I
in.
have I have five like one Bs that are up there,
Uh huh.
but that's the
That's the
creme de la creme for me.
that's the goat. Okay. Um, years. Okay, so different eras. We're both 3.0ers.
Hmm.
Um, if
I'm
you
a
had to pick a favorite
3.49 actually.
three, what does that mean? 3.49. I haven't heard that one. Is that just like when you entered the scene?
Yeah, yeah, just mathematically, that's where my
Wait,
brain
is
goes.
that an accurate like? Are you
No,
nerding out?
absolutely
Oh, you
not.
made that
No.
up? Okay, dude. I was about to say, holy shit, we gotta. I was like, dude,
You know what?
he's
Sometimes I'm really good
dialed
at
in.
guessing. So
Huh?
so I might be perfectly on, but I've given different numbers before. But yes, we're both 3.0s for sure.
Well, I mean, we can figure it out. So they got back together in 2009. It's 2025.
Is
Uh,
this
you,
3.0 or 4.0 though?
so I've my take on it is it's 3.0, and because here there's reasoning with the 1.0, 2.0, and then 3.0, the band made a decision to stop
Hmm.
and then rejoin. With the problem, you can do 4.0 because there was a break, but it wasn't made. The decision wasn't made by the band. It was made by the world shutting down. So,
I
are we going
concur.
off of whenever they stopped and got back and started doing it, or are we going off of their decision? That's, I guess that would be the proper criteria, right?
What about Trey's guitar post? His 4.0 Languedoc. Is that
He's a dude. They've been trolls since the fucking 80s, dude. He knew that it was gonna fucking get everybody riled up, and he knew that people were gonna talk about it on podcasts like we're doing right now. That's why he did it.
way to go, Trey? Got us again.
Yeah.
But
What do
yeah,
you
so
think?
call it 3.45. And but
It's
no,
just-
what you so you were going with
oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So they got back together in 2009. It's 2025. How many years is that? Where's your accountant, buddy?
Pern?
Where, Pern. So I guess we could find. So how many years is that? Let me see. So 2009, 25. Okay, so that's 16 years. So 8 years into that.
5 years.
Wait. So so 2014 is 5 years, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would be that would actually be. I don't know what it would be. Send this to. I'm gonna clip this. We're gonna send it to Pern or somebody.
I think it's 4.31 0.31 would be
Okay,
5 out of 16.
we're gonna go with it.
Yes. So I'm a
There we go.
4.31er. That's for my other boy, Scotty Gotti. He joined in 2017, so I give him like here 3.79. Like I got Trump and everyone. It's all a joke, you know. We're
Yeah,
not like
right.
really.
It's
Some
it's
people
goofy.
actually are when it comes
I'm
to
sure
this.
there are, dude. But I love nerding out on stats. I just can't keep track. Like I love hearing all the shit, but like it goes in and it kicks around for a minute long enough to be like that's cool, and then it's fucking gone.
100%, man. Yes.
Fucking gone. But cool. Okay. Moving right along here for covers. Everybody knows Phish does a shit ton of covers. What is a song that you would like to hear Phish cover that they haven't already?
Eminence Front by the Who.
Dude,
100%.
I wish, speaking of not fucking remembering who says what, I had somebody on here who said that. I think it was Brian. I'm gonna say it was Brian. If it wasn't Brian, I apologize to whoever it was. Dude, 100%, they would fucking crush that.
It
I
it
get
it
goosebumps, dude.
It is off. It's just such a cool song. It's like later in the Who's career, and it's got that like 80s, like late 70s sound to it, and like
It's
it's
a
just
Fish
like
song.
it would be. It's a Fish song. It really
It's a
is like a
Fish
Fish
song,
song
dude.
before Fish was around. That would be it, number one. And side story, my dad had a pretty serious like ulcer, and that led to a whole bunch of other stuff, and
Damn.
anyways, after the operation, he ended up in the ICU for a little bit, and he was like in a medically induced coma. And I went in there
Fuck.
playing. I went in there playing on my phone, Eminem's Front, into his ear, and he was like, and he starts drumming like with the beat in
In a
like
coma?
he was like very heavily sedated, like
Oh,
medically
okay.
induced. So it was just like I started playing it, and he's like a huge Who
And
guy,
he got
huge Who guy. He's going to like the Who's final tour, like for the 18th time. Like he's going to the last
what?
show ever. They've just had like the Who's last tour and Who's finale, whatever. He's going to the last one finally, but he was like really sick at this point. Started playing it, and he's just his feet were drumming to it, his hands were drumming to it, but he wasn't there. But he was just drumming exactly to the
He
beat.
was there.
It was like
Dude, that's cool.
he's here. He's coming back, and he came back, and now he's back at Worth and in full health. So way to go, the Who and Eminem's Front, and maybe Trey
Dude,
UC. Let's do
man.
it.
Dude, I would shit. I feel like a ton of people would shit because I feel like within the community, I feel like that's a pretty, or maybe not, but like I've only done what episode is this? I've done 43 episodes of this, and I've heard that twice asking people. So like, you multiply that by however many people are in the scene. Like, there's people talking about that, and people know that they would fucking crush that, and the band has to know they would crush that. It sounds
They've
like
probably
something they
played it.
wrote,
They've probably
huh?
played it like when they're
Yeah,
rehearsing for Quadrophenia. The
had to have.
for Halloween. They probably like, oh, what other Who songs can we play? And they probably touched on it. They're saving that for something.
Dude, it's stuck in my head now. Dude, that's yeah, I love that one. Every time that comes on the radio, like ever since whoever told, I feel so bad. I'm gonna have to find out who said it first on here. But whoever said it first on here, I had the same reaction. I was like, "Holy shit, yeah, they would fucking kill that." And then like I told my girlfriend afterwards, and I was like, "Dude, can you imagine if Fish covered this?" And then like now every time it comes on the radio, like I look at her and she's like, I know." Because I talk about it all the time. I'm like, dude, they
Oh
would
yeah.
crush it. Okay, yeah, that's a solid answer. Okay, what song are you chasing? What's a song that you haven't heard them play that you want to hear them play?
Back to back covers here. So I've heard most of everything except for like the obscure like Walfredos and things like that. Um, Back to Chicago. It's played the next show out all the time, but Jesus just left Chicago.
Oh yeah,
That's one of my first favorites from like, this is like after like, oh yeah, Fish is awesome, in 2014.
mm-hmm.
I touch tunes at every bar I go to, just throw on a little Fish covering Jesus Left Chicago, and it is
So
awesome
good.
in that bluesy sound to it, and Trey kills it, and it just sounds great by them. I've probably seen it like right after or right before, like I went to the show and then it's played the next show, like when they left Chicago, like duh. That's kind
Damn,
of how they do it, but have never seen it, and I've been waiting for that since like my fourth show. Still haven't seen it, and they play like once every like 6 years. So good luck to me.
yeah. I'm about to pull it up to see the last time they played it because that's one I forget about. But dude, that's on that one that's on Fish Jesus left Chicago. The one that's on the album, the live album. Is it a live one?
The live one, and then
Is that
then
what I'm
there's
thinking
also one
of?
that recorded like '94 Chicago show. I That's the one that comes up on the bar all the time. So that's the one I'm throwing
Oh,
on a
on like
touch tune.
Touch Tunes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. The last time they played it a lot in the. Damn, they did play it a lot in the early days. God damn. Seems like they played it every other show in the fucking in 1990.
Should have been a 1.0.
Should have been born sooner. Okay, the last time they played it was at the Met in Philly. Wait, right? Yeah, 2019.
So
That's what it
they're
says.
due.
Yeah, they're due. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. This says song before. I was scrolled down so far. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, 2019. Dude, you might get lucky. What other shows are you doing besides Chicago this year?
Austin, 3 nights in Austin.
Okay.
UC, obviously. I'm trying to go to Columbus just for a quick in and out,
Hmm.
and just scored 2, 3 nights at Hampton this morning. So
Did you?
thank you, Fish and Ticketmaster, for finally blessing me. The last time I think I scored something was that 7/14/19 3-day pass floors pit for Alpine. I have
Uh-huh.
been hosed since then. And this was like the
God.
first time I like clicked and was like, "You're 396 people away." And I was like, "I'm usually 30,000 away." So
3,000. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I this morning, thank you, Universe and Fish and Ticketmaster, got a 3-day run at Hampton coming in, and everyone was like, "No,
Nice.
they're too big for that place," and we're going to the mothership. That's all you need to
Dude,
know.
they'll never be too big. I mean, well, I don't mean it that way, but they'll never be too big for that. And like, what? How big is the place they're playing in Austin? Where? What's the
Like
venue in
sixteen
Austin?
thousand. I
Yeah,
think it's
dude,
like
I saw them in Austin in I don't even know what fucking year that was, but they did Dallas and then they did Austin, and I can't remember which one, but one of them was like fucking small, dude. It was like it. I would
it's
almost
probably
call it like a
Austin. It's
I would
probably
call it like a
Austin.
theater. Like, cause like we walked in and I was like, holy shit, dude! Like you could literally be at the fucking top of this thing and like you're close as shit. Like compared to seeing them like at Northerly Island or like any of these big ass like arenas,
Oh yeah,
I was so blown away. And also blown away that it didn't sell out.
yeah. That's the thing. They don't go to Texas often, so
Yeah,
it's going to be good, right?
yeah. A lot of
Or
my
I guess what, Bill Graham's super small. The Nutter Center.
I've never been.
We went the last time, October 23. They brought all their equipment into the Nutter Center, and it's like a high school gymnasium size. That was the loudest concert I've ever been to in my life, times four. I loved it. Tuesday, Wednesday night crowd, it was rocking. It was one of
Nice.
those ones where your ears are ringing like the next morning. Like, huh? What'd you say? You're like,
Tinnitus.
yeah. So they can still play the small places, but I'm glad they're going back to the mothership. I've been waiting. The last time they went, I was on a business trip and couldn't make it. So redo. Let's go.
That's cool, dude. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. So Austin, Chi-Town, and then Mothership. Cool. Well, you got what is Austin 2 nights?
Austin's 2 nights. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you got 8 chances to wait, Mothership or Hampton, that's 3 nights too, right?
3 nights. Yep.
Okay,
Three.
yeah. Yeah, so
Well,
you got
maybe
eight
nine
chances.
if I make it to Columbus.
If you make it, oh yeah, you said Columbus too, yeah. That's decent. I mean, it's good as odds as anybody's gonna get. Okay, cool. Jesus left Chicago. That's a good one. I love that. Um, what on the flip side of that, we all have a little bit of hater in us. I like to keep everything balanced here.
Hmm.
If you could never, or how do I word it? What's one Fish song that you would be okay with never hearing again?
I'm got Sugar Shack.
Sugar Shack?
Sugar Shack. It is. Trey doesn't like playing it. It seems like I don't know if he doesn't like playing it, but he kind of just always just like quickly goes through his like little riff. And I've seen a lot of good shows, good first sets that just are awesome, and then Sugar Shack like in the 6 or 7 spot of the first set, and then it's just like, then like, all right, it's a good time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
kind of force myself to go if they play it, but it's
Look, I don't got to piss, but I'm going.
yeah. For the summer, they did the shows 2 summers ago in MSG, and I went to go to the bathroom, and the lines were longer during Sugar Shack than they were at set break. It was just
Yeah,
like so. It's not just me. What about you?
yeah.
What's your I'm okay with never? seeing this song live again?
Man, for me, it's never been turned on me before, I don't think. I have a fucking handful. But if to not sound like too much of a hater, and list off all of them, I'll take the low hanging fruit and well, actually, let me pick something that like makes sense now because I was gonna say like a generic like TTE or something like that, but like let me see like actually what because there's a fucking million of them. I feel like I feel like what you love the band so much and like everyone knows that. I feel like you kind of like earn a little bit of like I can talk shit because I love them
Yeah,
so much.
you
It's
can
kind of
be a
like
little bit of a critic. Once you've had enough good food, you can like
yeah,
mediocre food is disgusting. Once you've had
it's
enough
like
good stuff.
when I'm introducing my dog, I'm like, yeah, it's like she's an asshole. Like, sorry, you know. And then, but like if someone else calls my dog an asshole, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, you can't say that.
If someone from the cheese family told me Sugar Shack sucked,
Be like, yeah,
I'm dropping the
fuck you.
mitts. Back to hockey, you know.
Sugar Shack is a good pick, honestly, and that's got to be a Mike song, right?
It is a Mike something, yes.
It is a Mike song. Um, Actually, with what we were talking about, I feel like your audio dropped a little bit.
Hmm.
Did anything change?
No, not on me. Can you hear me
Not
now?
on you? I mean, I can still hear you. I just heard it noticeably drop. And I promise I'm not trying to get out of answering this question. I'll pick. I'm trying to find something that they like actively play
Life
that I'm not
Beyond
a
a
fan
Dream,
of. Yeah, we can
More.
go with that. Life beyond a dream. Yeah, I'll go with that because that one. Now that I'm like hearing it, like it's any that when they started, I'm like, God damn, dude, like for real. Yeah, I'll go with that for now.
All right.
It's gonna change because they're like I said, I've got a fucking bucket full of them. But some, I will say this. I will say this. I am. I can be converted on songs because More was one of those songs for me to where I was like,
Same.
dude, all this fucking like they're just love and light now. It's all just like Happy Gilmore, like whatever. Like but dude, the song More, like that fucking like grew on me. And like I have like a running playlist now, like it's on my running playlist. Like I fucking love that song. And that's like that's like in the same vein as a lot of these like newer like everybody hug and love everybody songs. Like it's
Yeah.
like the same shit. So I'm not fully closed off, but like right off the rip with some of them, if I haven't spent enough time, Life Beyond a Dream, yeah, it's one of them. I'm cool without it.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
good.
I guess Sugar Shack too. I mean, but dude, as far as like Mike, I feel like Mike songs get a lot of hate, but like one that I do like that I feel like gets hate like that is Yarmouth Road.
I love it.
I dig it. I
I
fucking dig it, dude.
yeah.
I get ragged on for it. It's
It's
bouncy. It's fun.
yeah. I have
It's good.
no problems with that one. And you know what? The new one like that for me that started off on a weird like is Mole. Mole. The first time I saw it live, I was like, "What is this?" But the last couple times I saw it, like I'm like, "Oh, this is Mole. Heck yeah, let's go." My
Dude,
buddies are like, "Oh crap," but I loved
I'd
it.
have to hear it. I know Mole, but I'd have to like hear it to be like, oh yeah, Mole. Cause like
Mo,
I'm not,
mo, 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 mo,
yeah,
mo,
yeah,
mo, mo.
no.
It
I'm,
just grew
I'm,
on me. I don't know why. I think it's like an earworm type deal, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go. And they kind of jam it decently well, and that's like all Fish songs. Any song, worst lyrics in the world, but you can just like put those instruments together and just go to work, boys, and oh, it's the greatest song
dude.
ever.
And that's how they get you too, to like, I feel like the coolest thing or not the coolest, but like one of the coolest thing about this band is like they can take a song, or Ruby Waves for example. Like anytime that you hear Ruby Waves now, because a precedent has been set, like if they start Ruby Waves, everybody's like, let's fucking pay attention real quick.
Yeah.
Like this is a established jam vehicle now, as opposed to like if that arguably, if that Ruby Waves and Alpine never would have happened, Ruby Waves, a lot of people are rocking a piss at that time.
Yeah, it's like,
And
oh,
I
this
feel
is
like
a piss break for sure.
I feel
Easy.
like the same thing happened with Light, for example. We started getting some monster jams out of Light,
Like,
but just as a song, right? Rock a
songs,
piss. If there was no
jams are
jams,
thick.
so
Yeah.
dude, you gotta be. That's what I love about them too. Is you never know where they're coming from. Like you get the one. It's like okay, disease, yeah, whatever. Like you're gonna get some exploration, right? But they'll come out fucking and lawn boy your ass, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll come
Yeah. One
out
of
and
those.
lawn boy your ass, keep you on your toes. That's why I love them, man.
Yep.
Okay.
And like, what's going through your mind? Like, first, like, kind of feeling out. I actually saw Tab perform that for the first time at the Salt Shed in Chicago. And I was like, all right, this sounds pretty cool. I wonder if Fish is going to even play this because you never know when it comes to Tab stuff. And they just kind of like threw it in our face at Monty Green, which was like an epic, new song, long jam. And then New Year's Eve, the which being there. No, it was different. We all love Fish because it's always going to be different. To have a full like EDM techno disco rave at MSG on New Year's, two thumbs up for me. It was great, but not for everybody. But what's
Dude,
going through your mind is one of those like without like the Monty Green one which was a pretty epic jam. I don't know if like I like it the same. I might just hit next
yeah.
or like let's just go to the second set or whatever. It's one of those that's kind of like you said, just takes that one epic jam and now you're like, I like this song.
Yeah, you got to. It's like start paying attention to it. Like it's like okay, let's not completely write this off, dude. Speaking of I forgot all about the EDM shit that went down on New Year's, because I was like, I was a little, I was couch touring, I wasn't there, but I was a little like, I was tiptoeing the line, if you know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
like it happens, and I'm like, part of me like starts mildly freaking out because I convinced myself that like oh they're gonna like keep doing jams like this. They're stepping into like string cheese territory, and I'm like I can't even pay attention because I'm texting all my friends, and I was like Fish is like moving into this new era. I was like they're done like doing what they did and I'm like having this like mini meltdown, and then like once they like snapped like right back out of it, I was like okay, like now I can go back and listen to it and enjoy it. But like in the moment, I was like, it's been a good run. I was
This is
like,
it. It's over. Well,
it's done.
so they
It
snap
scared me.
they snap right back into chalk dust torture after that, and
Yeah,
it's like
dude.
wake up, we're back to Fish. Funny thing about that, my alarm on full blast every morning since 2014 is Chalk Dust Torture from Hampton, 97. And it just goes full blast. And like my buddies on tour, my girlfriend, they just get so mad at me because like they wake up to like more of like a ambient Reba jam or like just their basic iPhone like whatever. Mine's like dun dun and it just scares the crap out. Like that's what I need to get out of bed. Like I'm not like ease me into the day. I'm just get up
Bam.
and grind your butt off. So that Chalk Dust Torture reentry like woke me up like
Like my alarm. Like
like
it's 6 a.m. Let's fucking go.
yeah, no, let's go back into real fish, like normal fish. So yeah, that's
Dude,
it's so it was cool. It was different. That's what we love
it
about these
was
guys.
different.
And now it's pixie
Exactly.
dust. It's all gone.
100%. It's yeah. So like now, and it's been what we're 6 months into the fucking oh my god, and I haven't re-listened to it, and I keep like I just said like whenever I had that moment where like they snapped back in, I was like, okay, I can go re-listen to it and like enjoy it, and I still haven't to this day, but I remember it. I remember being terrified. It's like oh no. Okay, coming up on time here.
Mhm.
I always like to end these with cool stories that you like to share from. It could be from the lot, it could be from the road, it can be from like in the actual venue. What's some cool stories or a story that you want to share that you're comfortable sharing Just some like cool shit that's happened at, before, or after Phish.
There's there's so many, like
Right.
it's tough. There's when you have like seven guys in an Airbnb with one bathroom, like there's just like that sort of feel. But I think back to Deer Creek 2022.
Okay.
We rented an RV and we had like three RVs and campers all right on venue, like 100 yards from the entrance, which was awesome. Didn't even know it existed because we tried to go to a campsite and they kicked us out. Anyways, I stopped at my dad's house just on a hunch because we're like, what if we need propane? So I stole one of his like extra propane tanks. He has like
Blue
he's
Rhino.
OCD, so yeah. Rhino takes a Rhino. Um, so he has like three extra ones. So I just grab it, put it in the RV just in case we need it. We brought nothing to eat besides eggs, bacon, Egg McMuffins. I make the whole crew. If it's 5 or 50 people, I am chefing it up. Egg sandwich, egg McMuffin for
Let's
everybody. You're
go.
not gonna eat if you're in my camp. But that night after the first show, we wanted to make pizza. So we have all these home run in frozen pizza, like just every like 15 of them ready to go. Go to turn our oven on in the RV. There's no little pilot light.
Oh man.
That doesn't work. I'm in there, like, turning the gas on, can't smell gas. The actual, like, I follow the pipe out, it is not connected. Like, you need to, like, literally, like, solder it or weld it together. Like, it was a brand new RV, it just hadn't been hooked up yet.
Oh damn.
So, turn on my grill. I have a grill outside, turn it on. Like, I'm gonna grill up a pizza, put the top on at the pizza. It was like it started to expand and it just, like, stuck to the top of the lid. Pizza number one. Throw it out.
Fuck.
Go over to our neighbor's RV. They have no working oven. We're spending hours. This is until like 6 in the morning. Birds are coming up, still trying to get a pizza to work. My one
Trying
buddy
to cook a
Bryce,
fucking DiGiorno.
yeah, my chicken head. You guys, many of you guys know chicken head out there. He microwaves the pizza finally and takes a bite out of it, and it was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Night two, spend the whole like after the show, like we're gonna get this pizza made. We're figuring it out. I have my propane tank. Like, how can we hook it up to our oven? And doesn't work out. Third night, guy in a cape, guy in a cape comes strolling by and goes, "Hey man, I have a pizza oven. Does anyone have a propane tank here?" I was like, "I do." He's like, "All right, we're right over here. Like you see my Winnebago, my mini Winnie. I'll take your tank." I was like, "Here's our pizzas. Make us some pizza." Hand him the tank, hand him the pizza. He's like, "I'll bring these back to you boys. Thank you so much." I'm like, good, awesome, Indiana, let's go.
Nice.
Sitting there, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, we're like, where the
Got fucking robbed.
where the fuck's our pizza? And we could see the guy with his blue cape sparkling in the wind. And I walk up to him, and he goes, "All right, guys, it's gonna be $5 for a pizza or three for 10." And
Like fuck you.
we just got fucking bamboozled. You're not taking my propane and my pizzas and selling them back to me. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't realize that was you." I'm like,
Yeah. Mr. Cape Man.
I'm like, all right. So then he felt really bad because it was the end of a 3-day run. He really did forget who gave it to him. Like, probably, I'll give him the benefit. He sat there just pizza after pizza after pizza. His kids are like, "Daddy, can I have a pizza?" He's like, "No, these young gentlemen need their pizzas." We probably walked away with 13 pizzas. Like
Let's
each,
go,
and
dude.
it went from 4 pizzas. Like he was making homemade stuff that he like brought from like Papa John's to make pizzas for like his whole camp. We walked away with 13. Every person walked away with 2 pizzas in their hand. So
Let's
full
go.
circle. We really wanted pizza. Went through a lot of struggles. Went through a bamboozlement into more pizza than anyone could eat, and we were pizzaed out by like 7 in the morning. Birds started coming up. Went to sleep. Knock knock. Time to go home. Party's over. And yeah, that's one that's gonna stick with me for a while.
I would have fucking took that fucking blue rhino right after we got our pizza and been like, thanks, bud.
Oh no, I took it.
Later.
Oh yeah, that came with us. We're out of here.
Yanked it.
Yeah, yep. I'm going
Shop's
home.
closed. I love that, dude. I love that. Pizza party. Right on. Dude, Ryan, it's been awesome getting to know you, man. It's been awesome to get to hear your story. Thank you so much for answering the bat signal and hopping on. I can't wait to meet you in person in your hometown
Yes,
and
yes, we'll do that.
burn some fish to the ground, dude. It'll be a blast. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, no,
Um,
Clay,
go
thanks for
ahead.
having me. It's been a blast. It's always great talking, fish among fam, right?
Yeah.
Like we get it. Everyone kind of gets it. We're all on the same page here. So,
Yeah,
been a
man.
pleasure, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm gonna stop the recording but hang out for a second.